3BL. What's popping with you? I'm here with my man Isaiah. Hold up. Let me make sure I got his mic working. Got the sounds working and all of that good stuff. Let me get it right. I should be good. Go ahead, Isaiah. Say something.
Yo.
There we go. We're clear. Well, the New York Football Giants. They blew their chance. I mean, statistically, they still have a chance in the NFC East, but I feel like they probably blew their chance. They had a chance to string together 2 wins versus 2 NFC East teams, and they blew it. 2 close games that came down the stretch. Last week, they beat the Washington football team, and they give up a lead to the Philadelphia Eagles and blow their chance. If they would have won this game, man, they would have been in what, second place in the NFC?
Second, they would have been tied for first.
Tied for first? With who, Dallas?
Yeah.
No, they would have been in second because they lost to Dallas.
Oh yeah,
right.
We did lose that game.
Right, we lost to Dallas, so they would have been in second. But it doesn't matter because we blew the chance. Josh, what's popping, man? What's going on?
I am upset.
We blew our chance, bro.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
We blew our chance. We blew our chance. Blew our chance, man. The defense was playing very well up until that fourth quarter. The first quarter, right, they gave up. I was nervous. I was scared after the first quarter because they gave up that drive. I mean, the Eagles just marched up the field, boop, 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 scored a touchdown. I'm like, oh, snap. We might really be in trouble tonight. And then after that, the defense kind of locked down a little bit till that fourth quarter. Then the fourth quarter came. Evan Ingram missed the pass off his fingertips. And
he got to go, Sam.
After that.
Got it. That's it.
After that,
Past 2 seasons, I've been having his back, and I've been spending Gettleman on the draft pick, but
I still got his back. I still got his back. I still got the Giants back. I didn't have high expectations coming into the season.
Here you go.
No. Yeah. Here I go. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have high expectations coming into the season. We got a super duper young team. There's a lot that these guys got to learn. You got to learn how to make decisions.
Yo, Sam, I'm going to expose you tonight because I'm going to break this down for you.
Okay, let me finish talking.
Okay, go.
Right? They got to learn how to make decisions. Okay? They got to learn how to convert, obviously. I mean, even in the first, was it the first quarter? Yeah, even in the first quarter, when it was 4th and whatever it was, and they were about to kick, they were about to punt, and they had the whole confusion with, guys running on and off the field, and they did not.
I wasn't confusion.
No. Okay, well, it might not have been a confusion. It might have been planned. But the players did not notice the chance that they had 2 chances in front of them. One, they had a chance because whatever the dude's name was open. No defender in front of him. He didn't even look to say, hey, I'm open. He just runs up the field. And then you missed that. And if they were smarter, just smarter, they would have noticed, oh, yeah, let's just snap the ball because they got more than 12 men on the field.
They couldn't snap the ball, Sim, because when the offense was changed, you have to give the defense the same amount of opportunity to get the.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That's why the ref was standing there over. So they don't snap the ball.
Okay. All right. Well, then still, they had that opportunity. They missed it. I mean, those are some things that you got to be able to see.
I'm just chiming right there. Right there, just to chime in real quick before I let you finish everything. Again, that's the difference from a team that's been disciplined and been practicing all situational football to understand that. Again, man, I don't know if that's a young kid, which really disappoints me because Joe Judge was a special teams guy.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I get really angry when special teams does dumb stuff because Joe Judge should recognize that. And the player, if the player.
But wait a minute. How do you know that he didn't recognize it? If he set it up, Josh is just saying that he set it up. How do you know that he didn't go into the locker room and start smacking his kid around? Or the whole team around? The whole special. What do you mean?
But I'm saying during the situation though. During the situation as a player, if I'm a football player and I'm looking and I see nobody around me, nobody, because there's supposed to be a man guarding you during special teams so that you don't become open.
Yes, we understand that. We get all of that. So what are you saying about Joe Judge?
No. I'm saying I'm more disappointed that they weren't prepared on special teams. When situations like that come up, I get mad because
I disagree with you. I disagree that they weren't. Hold up, wait a minute. I disagree. I think Josh is saying that it was done on purpose. Maybe that one player wasn't prepared for him. Maybe that he wasn't prepared. It doesn't mean that the team wasn't prepared.
Well, Sim,
and that the team wasn't ready.
You got the punter looking like, yo, do I kick it or do I pass it to him? The punter's literally looking at it.
I don't think that's.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think that. First of all, right? So, like Josh is saying, and I agree with you, Josh, right? It was purposely done the way it was purposely done the way it was done. Philadelphia is confused. Still, the players are not expecting to be that wide open. So the punter's looking like, okay, what do you want me to do? Do I do this? Do I do that? I think that is the player being indecisive, and not the fact that Joe Judge didn't have them prepared to, like. So let me put it in basketball sense for you. The coach calls in a play. The play works, right? The play works, and then Frank Ntilikina is wide open. Elfrid Payton neglects to pass it to him while he's wide open. Is that the coach's fault? No, that's the player's fault. Right? That's the player's fault.
I think special teams is we look offense and defense is obviously, more important, but special teams is actually a strong suit for this Giants team. And I knew that with the hiring of Joe Judge, they were going to be much better on special teams as far as field position, the kicking game, and, just doing stuff like that. Like last week's game, you seen what happened, what they did. If not for penalties, they would have got two big plays on special teams last week, including one of them would have been a touchdown to Evan Ingram. So I think special teams we can't look at special teams and say that's the problem. The big problem with this game.
I didn't say special teams was the problem.
I know, but I'm saying we're talking about special teams right now, and the big problem with the Giants is they didn't execute, and Evan Ingram dropped the ball. He dropped the ball.
No, wait, Josh, Josh, don't you worry.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
What are you gonna get? What do you mean we're gonna get to it? Get to it. He dropped the ball. I mean, that's a fact. He dropped the ball.
So here's the thing, though, right, son? Evan Ingram has been trash. He's been trash since he's been drafted. He's been trash every season. He's been hot garbage. He needs to go. They need to cut him. I swear to God, if he's on that bus tonight, I'm going to go fight him.
Well, you know what? He's going to be on the bus, so get your boxing gloves ready.
I'll whoop his ass.
He's going to be, okay. you might do it if he got a whole bag of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You might whip his ass then.
I'm trying to find the stat right now for time of possession, because I think defense was the first thing that was mentioned, in the podcast. Like the Giants, the Eagles had dominated time of possession. They dominated time of possession. So the first three quarters, the Giants defense held them, and until the end, when the Eagles, finally was able to, put some points on the board. But up until that point, the Giants defense was playing really, really well, forcing turnovers, making tackles, giving, but not too much. They're not bending, but not breaking. You know what I'm saying? They did really well. And they were ranked 12th coming into this game. You know what I mean? So the Giants defense is not a problem either. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing, though, Josh.
Got to execute this game.
Josh, here's the thing, though, right? And this is the part that really gets me irritated. First quarter, they were playing a lot of soft zone. And it was getting me so mad because Carson Wentz was just picking them apart. Okay, I understand that first quarter.
That was the first
killed.
series. That was the first series, not the first quarter. The first series.
They were playing soft zone that whole quarter. Whole quarter.
They got killed the first series.
Now they got killed the first quarter because literally what they were doing was backing off receivers 12 to 15 yards and letting them be in them soft zone areas and letting them move down the field easily. It wasn't. I understand the first series because the first series was that, but they were still doing it the first quarter. What I'm saying was that towards second quarter, second quarter, third quarter, that's what Giant football is. Getting pressure, holding opponents. That's Giants football. What really upset me was, it was like 11. We got the ball at 11 minutes. We have backed up on our own field. Boom! What does Daniel Jones and them boys do? They move down. They go 97 yards. They kill it was from I think they had to gut the ball at 12 minutes or whatever, the 12-minute mark or something, whatever. And they got it all the way down to 6 minutes. They gave the defense 9 minutes of rest. 9 minutes of rest. They scored. They did what they had to do. They up 21-10. What the hell happened? In 70 seconds, because they literally said it was 70 seconds, they marched down the field and scored a touchdown with 70 seconds.
Well, there was a lot of penalties on that drive. So this was uncharacteristically a bad game for the Giants as far as penalties are concerned. We gave up way many penalties, whether it be, defensive pass interference, defensive holding, or just unsportsmanlike.
You know what it is, though, George? It wasn't even.
You're not even supposed to do.
Hold on. Let him finish.
No, I'm just saying, it was just uncharacteristically bad as far as discipline. All the penalties between the defensive holding, pass interference, and unsportsmanlike penalties that just, position killed us because of those penalties.
Yeah,
I think
the one when what's it called got hurt, when Deshaun Jackson got hurt, that was just terrible. Yeah. He was already on the ground, and there was enough time for him to, slow up, hold up, dive over top of him or whatever. Okay.
Well, here's another thing, though, right?
Penalty on the hit that got Jackson hurt. They called the penalty on Valentine because of the collision. They called it a helmet to helmet, but it wasn't really.
They called it on Valentine. Yes, they did call it on Valentine. They did call it on Valentine. They did call it on Valentine. I thought it was Valentine who made the hit.
Yeah, first and foremost, that wasn't a helmet to helmet. That was literally his chest. They literally showed the replay. It was his chest. Yep. It looked like in a fast motion helmet to helmet, but it was completely not. I think what happened was that there were high emotions throughout the game because both teams were being cheapy throughout the whole game, which really was weird to me. At the end, they started calling flags towards the Giants for the unsportsmanlike, but throughout the whole game they were chippy. There was multiple fights during the whole game, but it was weird to me because I thought it was the late hit too, but come to find out it was the helmet to helmet. I'm like, it was. If you look at the replay, it literally wasn't helmet to helmet. Yep. Also, too, the other play where they moved down the field to 70 seconds, they were holding, what's his name? The 97, I think his name, the Hill. They were holding B.J. Hill. It should have been an offset flag because the Giants, I think, had a penalty that cost them whatever penalty, but it sort of offset it because they were also holding B.J. Hill. So there was a lot of things going weird, but to me, I'm sorry, at the end of the day, this game is on Evan Ingram. This game is 100%.
I mean, it is. It's no doubt about it. It's no doubt about it. But you know what? But I mean, there's no doubt about it. It was right there. It was a perfect pass right there.
But Sim,
boom.
This sums up who Evan Ingram has been, who he is, who he will be. Okay. I'm sorry, he is.
All right, cool.
Player.
Okay, cool. You want Evan Ingram gone? Cool, good. Everybody wants him. There you go. Okay, everybody wants him gone. Cool. But what I'm looking at is my expectations for this team. You know what I'm saying? We looked at, I think, earlier we looked at the schedule. And when we went down the schedule, we were like, maybe they get a win versus Washington in the first half of the season. And then we was struggling to find out where they were going to get some wins. Right? We came into this game thinking that they could get a win versus the Eagles. Right? They play the Eagles again. And hold up. And within the next 3 games, they play the Eagles again. They play Washington again. Right? We're probably going to be thinking that they can beat the Eagles and that they can beat Washington within the next 2 games. Would I have liked this team to be 2-5 right now, 3-4 right now? Obviously, I would. But I feel like there is something with this team that not this season, or maybe at the end of the season, they can start to maybe string together a few wins. I feel like there's something with these guys that where they're on the edge. You know what I'm saying? They're on the edge. I feel like they're on the edge. And, we can be emotional and we can be mad because they lost this game. But I do feel like they're on the edge. When you go down and you look at the games that they played, they've really only been smacked once versus San Francisco, right?
Yep.
I mean, other than that, they've been right there in every game, had a chance in every single game that they've played besides San Francisco.
Last couple of weeks, the Cowboy game was a win, and last week we got the W, and then today we should have won, obviously.
So I understand what you're saying. I really do. Are we on the Cups? I don't think we're on the Cups. I'll be really real with you.
I actually
don't think we're on the Cups. No, because being on the Cups means that you play good and the other teams are just like generally bad. This team is bad.
But see, I'm looking at it different than you. To me, being on the cusp, like they played bad and still almost had a chance to win this game. They played bad against Washington and still won. They didn't really play that good against. I mean, the offense was better, but they didn't play that great against the Cowboys, and they were right there. They didn't play that great against St. Louis, and they were right there. These games, they're not playing good football, and they're right there.
So Sim,
because of hard work.
So Sim, that's
decent defense.
See, I can understand. No, the defense is decent. It is. We need a pass rusher. I personally believe, and we need some more. We definitely need a good safety and a cornerback. Linebacker, of course, not that bad this year. Can't still cover. But here's the thing.
And the youngest team in the league, and they're playing without their best running back, and a few other injuries too.
I hear you. That's NFL. Everybody has injuries. 2016, the Giants were 11-5. Do you know we beat bad? You know we beat pretty much mediocre teams by 7 points or less. And you can only just say, okay, that team was teeter-tottering, but that wasn't a good team. This isn't a good team. This team,
bro. I didn't say you gotta listen. I didn't say that they're a good team, right? Clearly, no. Listen. Their record, they are who their record says that they are. They are who their record says that they are.
Shout out to Bill Parcells.
I believe every single team is like that. I'm not like, oh yeah, they're better than being 1-6 because if they would have did this, that, and this, if Evan Ingram caught the ball here, if you didn't get those calls against Dallas, they're so they're better than that. No, I don't believe it because the mistakes that you make on the field, football is a game of inches. The mistakes you make on the field, that's who your team is. That's what your team does. I believe everything that the Giants have done, the mistakes that they made are fixable. Very, very fixable.
Absolutely.
I believe they're very, very fixable. And with the discipline that Joe Judge, I believe, has with the team, right? His attention to detail, I believe they will get it. Will it be this season? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe down the end of the season, they really start to fall in line and get it. And maybe they can string together a couple of wins. You add some more players during the offseason, and then you get incrementally better next year, right? But I believe you're there. I believe you're on the cusp. If the defense can continue to play well, and you finally start to string some things together with the offense, really get the offense playing well, limit those mistakes, some of the decision making. I think. They're 1-6 and it doesn't look good, but I don't think that. I think they're there, and if they stay the course and continue to work and try to be disciplined, and Joe Judge stays on them, they can get better.
Sam, I agree 100%. I think coming into the season, I didn't expect the defense to play as well as that they're playing right now. I expected them to be in the bottom half of the league, but they obviously are showing that they're not that bad of a defense. Offensively, I think we need to go out and go get a playmaker. I think this team is missing a playmaker that they can throw the ball to downfield. Don't get me wrong. I like Slayton. I like Tate. Shepard is always hurt. Ingram is either always hurt or he's not catching the ball when
Shepard is always hurt, man. I like that kid, but
they need to go out and they need to be aggressive and go out and go get a playmaker. There's a lot of guys out there that the teams are going to be willing to trade. AJ Green is one of them. Antonio Brown just came in the market, but I think the Ravens are about to take him. And then, they took Des Bryant. So Antonio Brown's available. I think there's a lot of guys that are out there that the Giants can go pick up to improve the offense and get some more weapons. But with that being said, I totally agree with everything you said. They're playing really well. They're moving and they're trending in the right direction. But Isaiah, like you said, they got to win these games. These are winnable games. The last 3 weeks are winnable games, and you got to squeeze those out.
No, I agree. I agree. And good teams to pull those out. And for me, you got to give something to, you got to play some credence to, having a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator, a new defensive coordinator. And you need time to put that. You need time to put those things together. You know what I'm saying? You just need time to put those things together.
I'm sorry. I'm just not right.
I don't know. I just feel like they're right there. I'm not a Debbie Downer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking to next year's draft. I'm not worried about drafting this person and that person. I'm focused on what's right here in front of us and things that I see, from this team that I'm like, man, if they can get consistent with certain things on the field, they can be good.
And they're playing.
You know what I'm saying? I seen some times tonight where Daniel Jones had time.
Yep.
With nobody around him. You know what I'm saying? He had some time. They were running the football. How many yards did they get? How many rushing yards did they get tonight? And I'm not saying the Eagles got the best defense in the world.
I mean, they got over 100. I mean, if you take out Daniel's big chunk, they got I want to say maybe 70 yards.
They had 160. They had 160 yards today.
All right, so take out Daniel's big chunk. I mean, the running backs had
100.
Daniel Jones had 92 yards himself. He had
so
92 rushing yards himself. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. I'm not taking out Daniel Jones's rushing yards because I believe right now they are using him as a weapon in the running game.
As they should.
That is part of what they should. Right? Yep. They're using him as a weapon. We've seen it a lot last week. He has 92 yards this week, and I think we're going to continue to see it.
Doesn't he remind y'all of Carson Wentz when he first came in, though? Like, they got the same kind of skill set.
He does, yeah. Yep, exactly.
Take away the fumbling, but Daniel Jones can throw the ball downfield, and he can move. He can move with his legs, and he's not afraid to take a big hit either. He's not.
So I mean, this just, I'm seeing things every week that I feel like, man, if they can just get it together. Obviously, the turnovers, they've got to do something with the turnovers. They got to take care of the ball. Those turnovers, they kill us every week. You know what I mean? They kill us every week. So we got to do something with the turnovers. But I'm just not as down on this team as 1-6 would suggest a fan should be.
Yeah, me neither. I mean,
y'all both drunk as hell.
Yeah. We what?
They're both drunk as hell.
Okay, so then what is it that you want? What is it that you see that they can't get better at?
Well, come on, son, don't do that because you're saying because of course you can get better. You can, like, for example, the O-line. Hopefully it should get better. I'm hoping it looked decent today. I hope it gets better. But I mean, again, with the players that are here, some of these guys have to go.
I mean, listen. I mean, but the thing, there's going to be clearly going into every season, there's going to be some turnover in your roster, right? So obviously that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you just caught up in emotion. You know what I'm saying? Because you know,
I'm
like,
I'm really not. I'm really not.
I believe you are.
No, I'm really not, because I see the Eagles beat us every freaking weird way every year. That's normal. I mean, we lose to the Eagles in the most stupidest, dumbest,
but this is the thing.
ways
This is the
every
thing.
time.
This is the thing. Last week we played just as bad, but we won. But we played just as bad. We didn't play a great game. It was an ugly game, but we won. So you come on like, oh, we win next week. We can be right there. Da 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 da. Boom. Pumped up.
But Sim, here's the thing though, right? I can understand. Okay, I wouldn't be as mad. It's weird to say it. I wouldn't be mad. No, I wouldn't be mad if the Eagles just beat us. I wouldn't be mad about that. It's a divisional game. Divisional games, no matter, you can be 0-15. You have a chance to win a divisional game. Everybody knows that. But when you lose, because you lose, that's what I get mad at.
So you would rather the Eagles beat us like Pittsburgh beat Cleveland?
Yes.
Yeah. So you would rather every single game this season we just got smacked around, right?
Yes.
Look awful on the field. Look like we had no chance.
I didn't say that.
I mean, because that's what it sounds like to me.
No, Simpson. No.
Because you have to at least be competitive to start getting better.
Hey,
yes.
Can I finish? Look, I'm not saying I want to get blown out about 30 points and, Daniel Jones has 16 picks. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying if the Eagles beat us, and if they beat us fair and square, where it's like, just
they
a regular game.
They beat us fair and square, bro. What are you talking about?
Stop it. Sim, don't lie, because you know that's
They beat us fair and square.
No, they didn't, Sim. No, they didn't.
What are you talking about? How did they not beat us fair and square?
Sim, they didn't be okay.
We might have gave up the game.
That's what I'm talking about.
But they didn't cheat. They beat us.
I'm not saying, Sim. Okay.
What are you saying?
I'm trying to figure out what you're saying.
I always trying to make a joke. Now, if I come over there and smack that B off your head, because you got a whole Boston hat on with a Giants shirt, I hate you.
Brooklyn Dodgers, thank you very much.
See that? Look at you. There you go. Do it. This is what we talk about. Do your research. Do your research. Do your research.
No, that's not the Brooklyn Dodgers hat. That's the Boston hat.
Okay.
That ain't no date. Yeah, thank you. I'm not stupid. You know that's Brooklyn, the Boston,
bro.
It's not a Brooklyn hat. It's the Boston Dodgers hat. It's the Boston Celtics hat.
Can you hear your point, please?
Boston Celtics hat. Did you say Boston Celtics hat? Did you really just say that's a Boston Celtics hat?
That's a Boston Celtics hat. That's not.
That is not a. Okay, go ahead.
Jaws,
finish what you're saying. Say what you're saying. Like any credence in anything that you're saying right now, just because you just said that, you're ruining it. So just go ahead and say what you was gonna say.
I mean, Sim, that's a Boston Celtics hat. Are you kidding me?
Okay, I'm looking. No. I am looking right now, and I'm going to bring it across the screen at a Brooklyn Dodgers hat. And it looks exactly like his, except it's dark blue.
Let me see the picture. Put it on.
Okay.
If it's true, I will apologize to Jaws. I will.
Well, get ready to. You might as well apologize now. Just give me a second.
I got to see the proof.
I'm going to pull it up. Just give me a second. All right. Let me see how am I gonna do it.
What is that? I'm gonna let America see it.
Yeah. Give me one second. And I'll bring it up there. Go ahead. Finish saying what you're gonna say. Then I'm gonna bring it up on the screen, and you can go look it up when I bring it up on the screen. Go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
All right. So look, right. The Giants beat themselves, and I hate those losses more than the team just beating us how they beat us. Like I said before, if the Eagles just beat us regular, like we did what we had to do, and they beat us, I'm completely fine. But when you drop, when you're 3rd and 7 with like 3 minutes left, and you are a NFL 6'4" tight end who was picked number 20. Two.
Okay, no. Let's stop for 1 second. Let's stop for one. No. I want to stop for 1 second because we're talking about the entire team. You keep harping on one player. Let's talk about the entire team, bro.
No,
I understand how you feel about Evan Ingram, but we're talking about the team.
Sim, Sim, I hate that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, it's a whole team thing. No. One player.
Okay, so if you take Evan Ingram away, is this team better than 1-6 right now?
We would have been 2-5.
You think so?
I know so.
So then who was it that was going to make that catch? Or maybe they don't even throw to that person. Maybe they go in a different direction. Maybe that person doesn't even get open.
Darius Slayton, Wayne Gellman.
But what if they
Derek
weren't?
Lewis.
But if you take away that player, they do something totally different. Most likely. What I'm saying is you're mad at Evan Ingram, and I get it. Everything But we're talking about we went past that. We understand how you feel about it. We went past that.
We didn't.
We went past that. We're talking about the team, and that the team is on the cusp of. I mean, they're already competitive.
Sim. He was drafted in 2016, 22nd, 22 overall. He was 6'4". He had all the freaking tight end, wide receiver records in Ole Miss. All the records. Most catches, all that, Bro.
Okay, so get to your point. What's your point? Tell me what your point is.
You're on the 3-7.
Tell me what your point. We know what happened in the game. Tell me what your point is, and tell me what your point is. I want to get to your point.
Can you let me finish? Because you
But you're talking about stuff we've already talked about. We know the situation. We know what he did. What is your point?
He busted the coverage, and he had the ball in his hands, and he drops it. We lose the game. Bro, this is on him.
So tell me what your point is.
And then what does he come out and say? Daniel Jones threw a great ball. Hey, I had to make the catch. Bro, you suck. He's been garbage. He's been garbage.
Can you tell me what your point is?
He lost us the game.
So did you not say that earlier?
I just had to let you know he lost us the game.
We get that. So what is the point in going over that again?
We could have been 2-5, having real momentum going to take this division. We could at least, because we talk about winning culture. We always talk about winning. We always talk about, you know what? We rather freaking win and get to the playoffs, and then you'll worry about a draft pick.
Oh, see, that's where you got it all mixed up. You got it all wrong. We talk about building a competitive culture. Yes, a winning culture is a competitive culture. This team is competitive.
Isaiah, I think if Ingram made the catch and we won the game, it still wouldn't make a difference long term for this season. Yeah, we'll probably be front runners in the division, but we're not going too far in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? This was supposed to be a rebuilding year anyway for the Giants, and I think that's what Sim is talking about. So regardless of whether Ingram dropped the ball or whether he caught the ball, we won the game, we lost the game, it doesn't matter because this team was not going to be as far as winning games in the playoffs and making a long run, they weren't going to do that anyway. So that's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to.
And hold up. Just to discredit this guy, you know what I mean, real quick. I just want to, show you this Brooklyn Dodgers hat. And if you go ahead and look at your screen, Isaiah, YouTube or Sportscaster, whichever one you want. Yeah. Go ahead. Take a look quickly. See, hold up, hurry up. And you will see the same exact hat that Josh is wearing. Okay.
Hennessy, America. Hennessy. Hey. That's what he's drinking. Hennessy.
Hey, Josh, man. I apologize, brother.
Ain't no Red Sox fan. You crazy? Celtics? None of that. I'm a New Yorker from Brooklyn, man.
And then he said and he didn't say it's a Red Sox hat. He says it's a Celtics hat.
Oh, yeah. See, I hate you, Celtics.
I mean, if it looked like anything, it would look like, closest to a Red Sox hat. You said, come on, Isaiah. You got to get it together, man.
I'm pissed off, man. Don't talk to me.
You got to get it together. Got to get it together. So
a positive I could take from the game is special teams. Like, I think that the special teams element is really important for this team moving forward. I wouldn't like to see Peppers back there. I hope the Giants, put somebody else back there a little bit, that's not in the starting lineup. But I like the special teams. I like the way they're using field position and winning games or trying to win games, playing the field position game. Because that helps the defense out and definitely helps the offense out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be, let me see, what's the schedule coming up? Let's see what we got coming up. Next week we have, where am I? I can't see where I'm at. We got Tampa Bay next week.
Yeah, we're gonna ask for.
And that's at home, right? That's in Jersey.
Yeah, that's home. We got Tampa Bay. Look. I mean, we said the same thing against the Rams, though, right? Didn't we? I mean, Isaiah, I don't even know if you're paying attention right now. You're looking down.
No,
I don't
I'm
know
sorry.
what you're doing.
No, I'm sorry about
Didn't we say the same thing against the Rams? The only team that whooped us was San Francisco. Said the same exact thing against the Rams. I'm gonna be honest. When I look at this schedule now, right? When I looked at this first half of the season, the only team that I said we could probably get a win against was Washington. And I still was not. I was a little bit like, oh, man, I don't know, because their defensive line, their rushers are so strong. When I look at the second half of the season now, we could probably beat Washington. We could probably beat Philly, Cincinnati, right? Seattle. I don't know about Arizona.
We're not beating Seattle, man.
Who's that? Is that the Browns? I'm looking.
Baker Mayfield is so bad that we can beat the Browns.
Well, yeah. Not Seattle. I don't know why I said Seattle. So I'm looking at two teams that probably can't beat the Ravens in Seattle.
I'm gonna tell you right now, sir.
Right. And so that's looking at this second half of the season. Only two teams in the second half that I can look at and say, yeah, you're probably not going to win. I don't know why I said Seattle. I think I was just saying their name. But
yeah, because I'm not gonna lie to you, right now, man. Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say that we could beat them. I was just like saying their name, kind of thinking out loud.
He's not, because he's looking like the MVP right now. That boy got Sierra.
You know what I'm saying? Just like kind of thinking out loud. So you look at Washington, Philadelphia, the Bengals, and I'm not sure about Arizona, Cleveland, Dallas. Those are teams that right now we can look and say we could probably win those games. Where in the beginning of the season, we looked and said, right. So for me, there's a different outlook than when we started the season. And I feel good about that.
I don't, because the 2 out of the last 3 weeks were games that we should have won. I think if we would have split those games, won one of them instead of being 1-6, if we were 2-5, I would have a more greater outlook. But 1-6, I think too big of a hole for the team to climb out of. 8-8. I mean, 8-8 probably does get us a playoff spot, but again, I'm just not. I'm not confident with that right now.
Yeah, I don't mean as far as them like making a run in the second half of the season. I don't mean as far as that. I mean as far as them winning more games than they won in the first half of the season. Let's put it like that. We got one more game to the first half of the season. Looking at the records of the team that they play in the second half. Arizona's 4-2, Seattle's 5-0. The Baltimore Ravens are what? 5-6-1.
Yeah, they got one loss.
Right, Ravens. Yeah, the 5-1. The Ravens are 5-1. Then you look at Washington is 1-5, Dallas is 2-4, Philadelphia is 2-4, Cleveland's 4-2. I mean they might be tough, but these are teams. A lot of there's some winnable games on there, or at least be competitive. And if we can come out and show that we're competitive against those really good teams,
Yeah. So, can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Can you list the teams that we'll face on the next? Can you just list the teams?
Yeah. All right. So we play Tampa Bay. All right, that's our next game. That's November 2nd.
Monday.
Okay. That'll be a tough one. I mean, we could be competitive in it, I guess.
You know, they're
It's gonna
4-2
be
on the
tough covering
season, but you know,
it's gonna be tough covering the wide receivers though, and Gronk all them boys.
right. Then we play the Eagles. I'm sorry. Then we play Washington on the 8th.
Okay, we could beat them.
All right, that's in Washington. Then the next week on the 15th, we're home against the Eagles.
Yo, we gotta do. We owe them an ass whooping.
Right, and then we play the Bengals.
Okay, that can be a win.
Right, that's a team that we can beat.
So to me, right there, that's
right?
what 3-1.
Okay, that could be right. That could be 3-1 over the next 4 games, possibly. Right, and then we play the Seahawks.
That's a dub. That's an L.
You know, it's most likely going to be a loss. Most likely. Then we play the Cardinals.
Ooh, they're kind of tricky because Kyler Murray's playing really good, and him and that DeAndre Hopkins connection is really that's a toss up. I'm gonna be real. That's a toss up.
Right. Then we play the Browns.
You know what's crazy? Son? By the time we play the Browns, Baker Mayfield might be benched. I'm not, and that's not even a joke. He really might be benched.
And then we play the Ravens. Then we play the Cowboys.
So we can end it. Yeah, we can. Okay, let's say hypothetically we lose to the Tampa. So we lose. So we can go 3-1 the next 4 games. We lose to Seattle. That's 3-2.
That's 3-2. Right. So that's 4 wins. What'd you say? 4-8.
Yep, 4-8.
Right, 4-8.
So we go 4-8.
And then over the last 4, and then so you would be 4-8 at that point, and then the last 4 games, the Cardinals, the Browns, the Ravens, the Cowboys.
You probably go 2-2.
Okay, 2-2.
If we can play, I'll say this: if we can contain Kyler Murray to like 50 yards rushing, we got a chance. But we got to hold him to like 50 yards. He can't get more than 70 yards.
So, you know.
I expect the team to go 6-10 prior to the season. I didn't expect the team to do anything better than that. So anything better than that, I think it will be a successful season for this particular team. Isaiah, I do feel your pain because the last, couple of weeks, where games are right so close, especially divisional games, so close that we could have had and that we let slip away. But I think, Sam, I totally agree with you. I think that the team is trending in the right direction. And penalty turnovers, I got the stats pulled up right here for the game. The Giants and Eagles, basically, down the stat sheet, everything was the same except for penalties and turnovers. That was literally the difference in the game. We went and lost by 1 point, but we had 2 more turnovers than they did, and we had 7 more penalties than they did. I think it was 7. 9-2 or something like that.
You know what really concerned me though, Josh? Sometimes it's not about the penalties, it's about when you get the penalties, right? For me, a lot of our penalties were in the second half of the game. And especially in that fourth quarter, like that late third to fourth quarter, we were just doing some of those were definitely questionable. To me, when they were getting physical and they caught a flag, I'm like, that was, this is a divisional game. You know how that goes. But a lot of these, like that Lewis guy, his holdings killed us because there was a chance the Giants had a chance to win the game at the Eagles goal line. But what does Lewis do? He holds and they get another reset of downs. And then what else do you do? There's no discipline when you literally get a penalty to push them back 18 yards or 15 yards. They get a penalty. And what's the first play that happens? A touchdown.
I mean, you're right. Obviously, you're right. That's the first play that happens. But I mean, that was a hell of a throw, a hell of a catch. And,
it was.
He was right on him. He could have turned around a little bit earlier. He could have turned back a little bit earlier to see the ball. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that was a tough play, tough pass, tough catch.
I can't get mad at that kind of play. I can't because that's just better offense. At the end of the day, that's just better offense. And Wentz, even though I don't think he's that good of a quarterback, he is a decent quarterback.
And the pocket collapsed on him too. That was a throw.
Yeah,
The pocket was it was all for him. And he was able to throw off. That was great.
Yeah, definitely. But again, man, those penalties, man, that penalty with Lewis, where he just, first of all, he got killed. He was getting burned.
Let me ask you guys this. When there was about a minute and whatever seconds left on the clock, did you agree with the use of the timeouts at that point?
I think go ahead, Isaiah. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Josh.
So I think from a coaching standpoint, I think Joe Judge did the right thing because at that point you have to trust your defense to go ahead and make a stop and prevent a touchdown. So I think the use of timeouts was smart. Like, you can't expect them to score a touchdown because they need a touchdown, not a field goal. So if it was a closer game, like a field goal game, then you can't use the timeouts at that point because you expect to get the ball back at any point. But since it was a touchdown game, then I think it was smart for them to use the timeouts.
Yeah.
Well, only thing I don't agree with was if I was Coach Judge, I would have let him score.
You know, and I thought about that too. I did. I thought about that. It was a tough situation, right? Because you think, okay, do I let him score so we get the ball back with so much time on the clock? I still got 2 timeouts and we can try to get up the field. Or do you just say, we're up 5 points, we're going to try to trust our defense to stop them?
Well,
it was tough.
So here's my thing though, right? And I think you put too much of a good list out there. Okay, let's just say hypothetically there's a minute 40 seconds left, hypothetically. Mm-hmm. And they're at the goal line. Let them score. They're gonna try the 2-point conversion. Let's say hypothetically we stop them. You got 2 timeouts, and let's say you got a minute. Let's say you do a fair catch. You got a minute and 20 seconds left, maybe even more, with 2 timeouts. Now they can't. Now they can't just go. Now they can't fall back. You know what I'm saying? Now they can't fall back. Now they got to try to rush you and do all this other stuff.
I don't like the idea.
It's tough. It's tough because then you're giving them the lead. The hard thing is you're giving them the lead.
Yeah, and then and on top of that, the little stuff that we're not thinking about. We have a young team here, right? Yes. A young quarterback. And you want to show some pride in your team. Your team was 1-5 prior to the game. You want to have pride in your team, and you want to have confidence in your team. You got a new coach. I just don't like the idea of giving away the lead when you're up by more than a field goal.
But Josh, my thing is this though, right? So you got to think about it like this too, and I think we're going to disagree, but we're all to the same point. Is that they're at the goal line. Your defense is gas. They're gonna score.
No,
I don't know how many times did they stop them in the red zone this game?
A lot, right?
Yeah. Several times they stopped them in the red zone. You know what I mean? I agree. You trust your defense. I'm just not the type of person that's like, yeah, I'm gonna give up a score. I'm just gonna let you score because they could. I mean, they turned the ball over too. Right? They could have threw a pick. They could have fumbled. Whoever, whatever could have happened. I just don't like you just let them score and then trust that we're gonna come back down. The use of the timeouts, I kind of felt like he had to because if they didn't, then they would have just ran the clock down to 10 seconds and then try to punch it in the score. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like they had to use the timeouts to stop the clock so they can at least get the ball back with some time on the clock.
I'm just not a fan of as a head coach, telling your team, "Oh, we're just gonna let them score." Nah, I don't like that.
Yeah, and with a young team, that's not what you teach your defense anyway. In my opinion, you don't teach your defense that you.
Exactly.
Yeah, you teach them. Hey, go out and get this stop. Let's make this stance. Especially you're 1-5. I mean, I get it. You could have put yourself in a nice position, be 2-5, second place in the division. But you know what? I agree with you though, Josh. With all the talking I was doing last week, hyped up, looking at one of these teams between the Eagles and the Cowboys is gonna make a run, get hot, and make a run. You know what I'm saying? And end up 9-7. Something like that, you know what I mean? Where, the Giants probably aren't going to be there. I'm not saying that the Giants don't fight for it and continue to try for it, but I'm just saying, one of those teams is probably going to get hot and make a run.
The good thing is that they are fighting and that they're not just giving up and they're not going out, laying down to any of these teams. They're actually standing up and playing them solid. So, next week against Tom Brady, Tom Brady's coming to town. So, I think that'll be a good test right there for the young team. And let's see how they do. I don't expect them to win. I'm pretty sure the spread is going to be probably high, maybe about 7 points or so. And I think the Giants can actually, I don't think the Buccaneers are going to cover. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what's up. Well,
yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, this L took a lot out of me, man. Ingram, you are garbage.
L took a lot out of you. I mean, it didn't, because I didn't have high expectations for the team.
I'm gonna tell you one thing, Sam, man. I don't care what you say. If I ever see Everton go, I'm gonna whoop his.
No. Don't change it now. You said if he's on the bus, you said if he's not traded, you going to do whatever you're going to do. So I'm holding you to that. Don't try to say now if I ever see him. You said if he's on that bus, it's on and popping. So
you know what? I'm gonna keep my word.
If he's not waived and gone by tomorrow, I'm expect you to show up the Meadowlands, MetLife.
It's only an hour away from me. It's only like an hour and like.
Right, cool. That's what I'm saying. So I'm expect you to show up and do your thing.
I got it. Don't say less.
I'm waiting for it. I need to see it on video. Right, I need to see it on video and everything.
Josh, you got my back?
Nah, you on your own, bro. You on.
I thought we dark-skinned brothers gotta stay together, man. Nah. Take that Boston hat off.
It's Boston, yeah.
Yeah, so, anyway, man, it's a good show, fun show. Isaiah, called me up as soon as we turned the ball over in those last whatever seconds, Isaiah called me up crying, full of tears, man.
No,
I had to console him. I had to console him. I was like, Isaiah, it's okay. It's cool. Call him up crying.
I was in between the debates and the game.
Me too.
And the debate. Right, towards the end of the debate or towards the end of the game. So I was able to catch the last drive like in its entirety and the full thing. And
yeah, I had the game on one TV. I had the debate on another TV. Yeah, and I had the debate. I had the debate up while I'm watching the game. You know what I'm saying? I was doing it that way, so I didn't have to switch back and forth.
Look at you, always trying to flex with your money, man. We get it. You got money, we get it.
Because I got 2 televisions. I can guarantee you almost every single house in America got 2 TVs.
Not in this house. We only watch one in this house. And it's a fat back.
Well, that's your problem. All right, fellas. I appreciate you, man. And, we'll do it again. Wait a minute. Let me see something.
We play next week.
Monday.
We play Monday. We play Monday night. Yeah.
So the Giants got about what a weekend.
10 days. We got 10 days. 10 days to prepare. Come out ready to go. So
let's get it, man.
Let's get it.
I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you the minute the next game over.
Yeah.
All right, fellas.
Yeah. All right. What's that?
Oh, shout out to my San Diego Giants group. You know what I'm saying? Shouting out to y'all. It's been a while. I haven't seen y'all in a while, but to my folks over at Shore Club in San Diego, PB.
No doubt. Shout them out. Be peaceful, everybody. We're out of here.